Hi, Art Seekers. We're here with Matt Gondek. Super excited to talk to you in your studio. Thank you so much. So how did you come to fine art from your background in illustration?
I kind of fell into just doing digital illustration work, and then I got really lucky with that. I did that for maybe 5 years and did really well. Like, I was doing like big name clients and stuff, but I hated sitting at home on my computer all the time. You know, I'd wake up, and I'd walk in the other room and I'd sit for 12 hours. And that was all I did, you know, and I didn't like how everything I made didn't actually exist in the real world. Like, it was all, like, yeah, it was like on a shirt or something, but like, it was just, I just made digital files. That's all I did. And it really bugged me out for a long time. So when I turned 30, I tried to get away from trying to be a digital illustrator. I actually opened a store in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that was like, this sold clothes and sold artwork and all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, the second day of me opening the store, I realized I hated that too. So like, I'm like 2 for 2. Like, I'm doing all these things with my life that they're just, I'm trying a lot of stuff, but I don't like them, and I didn't realize it until after I did it, right? And I had all these drawings of Mickey Mouse, like being poisoned, like melting, and one of them, his head was blowing up. So like randomly, I picked the head blowing up one. So for like a week, I'd get up really early and go to my basement, and I painted this painting. And it was cool because, you know, I had no idea how to paint. I had no background in paint. I didn't know how to get colors. I didn't know how to mix colors, anything. It took me a week to paint this very simple painting, and I screwed it up 800 times, and it looked terrible. But it was cool because my hands were getting dirty, and I could physically pick the painting up and hand it to somebody, and I could flip it upside down. Like, it exists in the real world. It's a tangible thing. And I realized that was the thing that I've been missing in my life through all the years of being a digital illustrator, was actually creating something that exists in the real world. So, you know, I did the Mickey Mouse, and it looked terrible. So then I did a Mr. T, and it looked terrible. And I did like a Beavis and Butthead, and it looked just a little bit less terrible. And Garfield after that, you know, so I've been doing that for about 3 years now, just making slightly less terrible paintings for 3 years.
You mentioned that finding fine art was really about finding something tangible, and the images themselves that you use are pre-existing images. So in that respect, they're tangible too, and then you adjust them with your own design.
For the most part, artists paint what they know. You know, like, some people have a really strong graffiti background, so they paint graffiti-esque things. You know, some people grew up with animals and like animals, they paint animals. I was an 80s kid. I grew up watching cartoons and playing video games and reading comic books, and like, that was my entire life when I was a kid. So that's all I know. So that's what I make. You know, like, I'm not just painting Bugs Bunny because I want other people to like it and I think they'll like me. Like, I really feel connected to cartoons and everything. And the blowing up thing and like the deconstructed pop art, that just kind of happened naturally. Like, from drawing these characters for basically my entire life, it got to the point where I stopped drawing them and trying to make them perfect. I'm like, well, what else can I do with them? I'm trying to purposely make big, super bright, super bold paintings. Like, I'm not going for realism, I'm going for pop. The deconstruction part is just a fancy way of saying I'm blowing the heads off things. It just sounds a little bit nicer on paper. I'm basically deconstructing Bugs Bunny or the Simpsons painting or whatever, you know? So that's where that comes from.
To me, I think there's a really interesting juxtaposition between the innocence of a cartoon and the violence that befalls them.
You know, it's funny, a lot of people say that about what I'm doing, and in my mind it's never, well, sometimes I do the paintings where these two characters are punching each other, and even when I'm doing that, the intention isn't violence. Like, to me, the blowing up the head or the punching is a means to that's how I can have that character coming apart. Like, they get hit, so they come apart. It wasn't about like, I really want someone to punch Bugs Bunny right now, you know, or blow him up. Like, that was never the intention. And in the perfect world, no one would ever look at my work and think I'm purposely trying to be violent or gory or hurt anybody. It's just, I think it's cool to like see, you know, Batman and see like the inside parts of him and like coming apart and like just seeing him in a different way than what everyone's accustomed to. Everyone knows this character, and I'm putting my own spin on it, kind of like how a band would cover a song. You know, the nice thing about my artwork is it's easily accessible to people who are not art appreciators. You know, you don't have to know about fine art to like my paintings, because a lot of people grew up with these characters just like I did, and they just get excited because it's something they know.
Now I know that you work on canvas, like the one behind us, and sometimes your images are on shirts, but that you also work outside.
Yeah.
Is there a different kind of energy when your images are on a wall versus on a canvas?
Yeah, it's a lot different. You know, here in my studio, I have 100% control over this canvas. You know, I'm here and I have all my materials, and if I need to go get something, I know exactly where to go. Where a wall, every wall is different. I did a mural in Compton, and when I was leaving, I accidentally wrecked my car. I'm not gonna wreck my car painting a canvas, you know what I mean? This is gonna go well, this canvas, because I'm in my studio. Like, it's very rarely does something bad happen in the studio. Like, outside, anything can happen, you know?
Of your outdoor works, which is the most significant to you?
The one in Pittsburgh of the Exploding Homer, just because that really kickstarted my career, and that was the very first outside mural. I did one last summer in Las Vegas, and it's on the side of the building. It's humongous, and it's right near the airport. So everybody that flies to Las Vegas can see this Bart Simpson punching Krusty the Clown. It's pretty cool. That was the first mural I did where someone asked me to travel to do it, and it was on their dime. So that was pretty cool. That was, you know, that helped me realize, like, oh, this is going pretty good for you. You know, keep it up.
Is there an overarching message that you hope people will take away when they see your work?
The message would be like, if you want to be, you know, a football player or a painter or whatever the hell it is, just go do it and figure it out. Like, don't wait around and don't talk to your friends about it. Just go do it, and you'll figure it out as you go along. And like, it's gonna suck at first, and you're gonna screw up a ton of things, but if you just wake up every day and do it, you'll get to where you want to be.